taught you that resting makes you lazy. And sis, that is not Bible. So we got some unlearning to do today. Welcome back to Still Waters, the podcast for the woman who's tired of being the strong one and ready to remember that rest is sacred. I'm Dr. MaKesha Lee, your sacred rest coach over at Your Rest Coach. And today we're going to go there. We're going to go there, and we're talking about the lie that's been dressed up in scripture and preached so often that it may have felt like the truth. And it's the lie that rest is laziness, that stillness is a sin, and that if you ain't grinding, girl, you ain't godly. We're going to tear that all up today. So if you grew up in a church, especially the black church, then you've heard the Proverbs 31 woman preach to you a lot. Like, she rises when it's yet night, and she works with willing hands, and she considers a field and goes and buy it, and her candle goeth not out by night, and she looks well to the ways of her household, and she does not eat the bread of idleness. And we were told to be her. Get up before the sun, stay up past midnight, run the house, run the business, run the ministry, run yourself into the ground, and call it virtuous. Since that is not scripture, but it did have me in a chokehold for years. And I was trying to be that woman. I was up early, up late, pouring out, and then feeling guilty when my body would say enough. But here's what I've learned in my own resting, and here's what I started to see when I actually went back and read the whole chapter. Not just the part that was preached, but she rested. Like, not once, not just daily, but like twice a day. And nobody reads that part. We get the rises while it's yet night, and we skip right past the rhythm of rest that this woman had in her life, like the way she eats, the way she pauses, the way she enjoys the fruits of her labor in her house. She didn't kill herself. She wasn't successful because she was burning out. She was successful because she had a rhythm, work and rest, movement and stillness, effort and ease. And so the chokehold wasn't the Bible. The chokehold was the sermon. And so let's talk about the Sabbath while we're here. Exodus 20:8 says, "Remember the Sabbath day by keeping it holy." It's a commandment, right? But right there where it says, "Do not steal and do not bear false witness," we don't argue about those. But when it comes to the Sabbath being a commandment, we kind of negotiate. Like, we postpone, we say for the Sabbath, I'll get into it next season. And something that some of y'all might need to hear is that I don't believe that the Sabbath has a specific day of the week. I don't care what religion tells you. I believe God accepts this form of obedience whenever you offer it. Telling somebody that they can only Sabbath on a Sunday or only on a Saturday is like telling Jesus he could only do miracles on a certain day. And we see how that turned out, right? The Pharisees, they tried to put rules on God's rest. Jesus walked right on through them rules. He healed on the Sabbath. He let his disciples eat on the Sabbath because God's rest is not bound by religion. It's bound by rhythm. Sabbath isn't a calendar event. It's a posture. It's saying, I trust God enough to put it down. I trust God enough that the world will keep spinning if I lie down. I trust God enough that my worth isn't measured by what I produce today. Yes, God. So let's get it straight once and for all. In the Bible, rest is not laziness. In Genesis 2, God rested after making everything. Now, he didn't rest because he was tired. I don't serve a God that gets tired, but he rested because rest is holy. He blessed it and he sanctified it. And then he asked us to do the same. He told us to do the same. And when you look at Mark 6, when Jesus' disciples was out there and they were running themselves raggedy, and he pulled them to the side and said, come ye yourselves, come you yourselves apart into a desert place, right? And rest a while. And so King James Version, but what he was saying was, go sit down. Y'all making me nervous. Go sit down, child. And in Matthew 11:28, Jesus said, "Come unto me, all ye who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." He's not offering you a productivity hack. He's offering you rest. So if rest is good enough for God, if rest is prescribed by Jesus, is if rest is woven into the Proverbs 31 woman herself, then who told you that rest would make you lazy? Because it wasn't the Bible. So here's what I want you to do this week. I want you to take 10 minutes and reread Proverbs 31, the whole thing. Read it slow, read it with fresh eyes, and see if you can find the rest in it. Because it's there, hidden in plain sight, just like it's been hidden in our lives. And if you've been carrying around guilt about lying down, and about saying no, and about napping in the middle of the day, about choosing yourself for once, I want you to lay that guilt right at the altar today. That guilt isn't from God. God's the one who invented rest. And if you want to practice rest in a community with women who get it, with women who won't make you feel like you're being lazy for choosing yourself, I want you to come join me. Join me on May 17th at Yoga and Sound Therapy Experience. It's going to be in Belleville, Illinois from 3 to 4:30. I'm going to be with my girl Cat from OpenSpace Yoga with Cat. And so you can DM me the word still, STILL, at your rest coach on Instagram, or I'll put it in the show notes to get the registration link. Now, the spots are limited. I think we got about four spots left, and I just got a text asking for information, so maybe 3. But just know that, rest is not the opposite of faith. And there's that ticket. Rest is not the opposite of faith. Rest is the proof of it. It says, I trust God enough to put it down, right? Dr. MaKesha, Sacred Rest Practice Out Loud. This has been Still Waters. And until next time, sis, be still and know that God's got the rest.